Alright, it's time for another Tecmo Tuesday, and it's time for week 2. We're going to be taking on the Houston Oilers, and before we start, I just wanted to kind of go over something real quick. Last week I was going through the Oilers lineup, and I noticed that it was weird how some of the guys, like Ernest Givens in particular and Webster Slaughter, were on the bench. They should have been the starters. And Coleman and Brown, who were in the starting lineup, should have been sitting down. So I went in and I edited them, and I edited a few other teams who had some questionable lineups that were in for them. So I just kind of glossed over the roster, looked them up, like to see what their who got most of the workloads in for that particular team in that particular season, 1992, and I just kind of made the adjustments, corrected them, so it was more authentic. Anyway, onto the game. This is going to be a tough one. The Oilers are not pushovers by any stretch. This should be... Oh, look at this. Here's Slaughter. The guy who I just put into the... well, he was a kick returner. He was going to be returning this kick anyway, but... damn, that's a rough start right there. He really got the jump on our special teams unit. Alright, took down White. The lone running back. This is a run and shoot team, so they've got 4 wide receivers, no tight ends, and 1 running back. Not in my house. I don't know whose house this is in, because it's not like there's a home and away, and it's not like it would have been it affects the game itself in any capacity. Blitz, get him! Yeah. Radisic. I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce his name. I had a hard time with it last week when I was bringing up the the roster changes. But I'm glad to see that we got a hold on them, and we were able to keep them. Oh, we held them to 3. They got 3. Aldo Greco. He was on the Cardinals in Tecmo last year. He moved. I remember him more as an Oiler / Titan than any of the teams he played before. I think this was his first year there. Oh shit! I got the fucking backups in. Oh man, I should have made those changes after the game. All right. God damn it! I forgot to, this is like. Oh, and another thing I want to change is I don't want Verdon to be the only. Put Bill Brooks in to return punts. I don't want him to be returning both. He got hurt last year a couple of times, I think, on the returns. Oh boy. All right, so that one didn't work. As soon as I put the starters in, we lose 5 yards. I was wondering why I didn't have. Yeah, I'm running with Maurice Carthon and Clark. Alright, nice pickup there for Cash. This Oilers team of this season, 92, they were the infamous team that gave up the biggest comeback in the history of the league. And whoa, where are you going with that one, George? The infamous comeback game against the Bills. Come on. Oh, no. Come on, somebody get it. Somebody on my team. That is very unfortunate. Shit balls. I had a feeling I read that one. I said I'm going to come back to that guy. He's sitting there wide open. I trusted the drones that they were going to be covering the other receivers. It just felt like it. Come on, get him, get him. It felt like the right there. If he would have broke it open, there would have been a lot of real estate in front of him. Oh shit! I thought he was going to. All right, that worked out. Once again, defense playing pretty well. They you know, I can't blame them for the field goal. That was all on the special teams for giving up the big return, but it worked out. All right, well, Bill Brooks, who was our name? Oh shit! Damn, I give him a little bit of playing time. You know, it's like I felt like he was a big part of our offense last year, and he's right in the bench. We'll put in Clark. Damn. What a Hester. Oh man, he was covered. He was covered. All right, he's knocking some guys down. That's some nice play there by Johnson. He he was the backup running back, but he did get involved. Oh boy, he's covered, isn't he? Yep. Everybody was covered, though. I had to throw it to somebody. I couldn't just take a sack or run with it. I don't want to get George hurt. Let's hand it off to Culver. All right, nice first down. Let's see. Let's go shotgun. Alright, that time Hester, he was able to actually get at the ball to him. Last time he threw it into the fucking first row. I'm gonna let the time tick here. I don't want to give them the ball with a lot of time left. He's got him. He's got him. Langhorne. He knows what it's like to battle these Oilers. He was in that division, that AFC Central with the Browns for a while. I noticed the Colts in the their blue jerseys in the cutscenes look brighter than they did. They in the cutscenes in regular Tecmo, they looked more like they do on the field. The darker blue, which is more accurate to their real jerseys. I don't know why they were, whoever was that decided to change the palette up a little bit, decided to do that. Alright, it is probably the last play of the half, so let's run the hell back there for like a... Alright, he's gonna scramble and move. Basically risking him getting hurt, because there was no way he's gonna run all the way across the field. Moon is a, he's a mobile quarterback, but, he's not going to probably run the whole distance of the field. There's not too many. I think Cunningham is, the one guy in this game who I would have been threatened by that legitimately. So between that and just risking him to injury, that was not a smart play on that part, on the Oilers' part. Here they come. I'll go to Johnson. Alright, first down. right, Foghorn, nice job. You know, I was it was mentioned by a couple people in the last week's game about the 92 Colts and how they were an improved team over the 91 and 1990 teams that came before it. It's true that they... I'm going to take it out of bounds because I don't want my quarterback getting hurt. The Colts were an improved team in 92. They did have a better record, but they might have been the worst 9-7 team ever. They had... they had a lot of really close wins against not so great teams, and they just happened to turn up, you know, on the right side of the coin on. Well, I mean, a win is a win. You can't, you know, fault them for that. And there's a nice touchdown there. Get a, you know, to bump up that lead a little bit. You know, it's, but at the same time, it's, you know, the eyeball test and the numbers would tell you that they really were not that good of a team. They were pretty bad. In fact, it's, I'm not an analytics guy, you know. I don't like to dig too deep into numbers. I like stats, but I don't like the stats dictating what you know, like what the like, you know, like the numbers dictating what you should do next, or you know, like what play you should call, what pitch you should make, that kind of shit. It you know, takes a lot of the human element out, and you can't really measure gut instinct really like that. But as kind of what Alan Grant said in Jurassic Park. But what I'm getting at here is that the Colts, when you looked at their shit, even you got it. When you looked at their Pro Football Focus, a Pro Football Reference has a lot of, you know, they have a lot of stats on that site, and I was just looking it up for the hell of it, and they have, you know, oh shit, you can't. He's one of Moon's lost planet airmen with a huge catch. You know, it's like our defense has been, you know, stout throughout this game, and you know, all it takes is these guys are so dangerous. They've got some good playmakers on this defense. I mean, this offense. And there's, you know, right there, bam, a touchdown. Duncan again. So anyway, what I was getting at is that what they looked at was based on their point differential, and opponents, you know, like measurements. They dictate what their expected win-loss total is. You know, based on performance, and the Colts record, what they're basically saying is should have been 5-11 and not 9-7. So that's a bit of a swift difference, especially when you look back at how they were. If you look back at how they were, you know, the worst team in the league the year before, and they didn't really do a whole lot to make them better. They just, like, the ball bounced their way a lot more. All right, well, last play of the third quarter. Third down. This is a big third down. We're only up 4 here. All right, that play, you know, that play to the tight end, it was Beach last year making those catches, but that's just, like, the perfect play for, you know, like a third and manageable. You can rely on the tight end to be open and get you a few yards. You know, it's not going to be a huge gain more often than not, but you need a first down. You know, that was often the call, and it worked a lot. Oh shit! You know, I was gonna call run 4, but I expected them to call that because there's a lot of, you know, the Tecmo AI has the middle runs, the runs up the middle, they call more often than not, whether they're the ones calling on offense or they're calling on defense. So I backed out of it, went to run 2, and yeah, they blew it up. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do my original pick and go to run 4, and watch, they'll probably blow up the line here again. Come on, oh, he got it. He's got it. He's got it. Shit. All right. Well, decision time. This is decision time. All right, do we go for it? and try to put the game away? Or do we kick and at the same time risk losing the game because they'll be down 4 and they can drive back and score a touchdown? Or, I mean, I know there's 4 minutes left, it's a lot of time, but that could still be a major factor. Or we kick a field goal and then just rely on hope that our defense can hold tight. I'm a gambler. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna give it to Culver and run 3. I like the way the blocking sets up on that play. Just as long as they don't call the play, I think I'll be good. Alright, alright. My god, I'm right at the line. Shit! I thought I had that! No, come on, challenge it. Challenge it. Oh. Alright, D. Let's do this. Man, I had 3 cracks at it. Man alive. Oh, man, he just busted through. Alright, this is 4-down territory. They're gonna go for it if they do not get this. And they're not, they didn't call the play that I picked. Yes! Alright, that was some nice defensive play there. I don't rush up the middle, but when it's a run, I do. And, as soon as he pitched it over to him, I recognized it and did it. The reason why I don't rush up the middle, I know I've brought it up before, but in case anybody, is wondering after the fact or haven't watched my earlier videos, I don't run up the middle because you can, a lot of Tecmo tournaments, they don't allow you to do that for the reason that you can basically cheat the game into getting easy sacks on passing situations. Especially when they're not in the shotgun. I don't... You can basically dive through the line and get a sack. So they don't allow... just to make it easier, they don't allow... Oh, come on, dude. Alright, well, here we go. 3rd down. And you know the play I'm going to call, right? You know the guy I'm going to target in this situation. I went over it earlier. Tight end. And Cash makes the catch. Alright. That was clutch. Alright, so they're going to start icing. They'll ice. No, I think I'm going to ice the kicker here. I'm not kicking a field goal. They're trying to stop the clock here. Alright, so I can't fumble. That would be a disaster. We've already got 1 fumble in the game. Alright, so let it tick, 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 tick. I am gonna do a pass here, but I'm gonna throw it short. I'm gonna do a high percentage. Oh shit! I'm gonna get sacked is what I'm gonna do. Alright, let it tick, let it tick, let it tick. Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna run it one more time and then I'm gonna try to get... I'm too far away. I don't want to kick a field goal from this far. I know it's doable, but I really don't want to give him the field position. Alright, tick, 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 tick. Keep it ticking, keep it ticking. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna throw it. Pass number 2. Oh! It went right to him, but it was like... I'm kicking the field goal now, though. Obviously. Alright, Dean. Good job, buddy. Now we just don't... this guy took the return almost the distance earlier, so let's not let that happen again. Just gonna play it back, play it safe, and we got him. Alright. Good job, boys. That was a tough game. As expected with the Oilers, but, it was, again, we actually outgained them in the ground. The Oilers are more prolific of a passing team than anything, so I'm not that, surprised that we outgained them on the ground. I just didn't think that we'd get a lot of yards on the ground either. But, the fact that we kept their offense in check was definitely was big because they are one of the better offenses in the league. But at the same time, there's a lot of mystery behind this season because yeah, this is not the same teams as last year. The Oilers were a good team in '92, but they were a very Jekyll and Hyde type of team. You didn't know what to expect out of them. They would look like Super Bowl contenders one week, and then they look like complete shit the next week. But I gotta give, I'm not gonna, use that as a way to disparage, the win or anything like that. Hey, 2-0, it's big, and we'll take it. We'll take it for sure. Warren Moon was the leading rusher for the team, 21 yards. So they got a run defense that was very good, and that was our bugaboo last year. Being able to stop the damn run. All right, so that was the only game played in week 2 so far. So let's auto skip and see what happens elsewhere. So Dallas beats the Giants. The Eagles beat the Cardinals. The Dolphins lose to the Browns. Wow, so Pittsburgh beats the Jets. The Bills beat the 49ers. The Chiefs lose to Seattle. The Saints beat the Bears. The Broncos beat the Chargers. Tampa loses to Green Bay. Washington loses to Atlanta. The Rams beat the Patriots. The Bengals beat the Raiders. The Lions lose to the Vikings. Did I have that right? Did I, yeah, the Bengals, I thought I might have screwed up the Bengals-Raiders result. I kind of, lost my eyesight for a second. I just blurred it. All right, so anyway, interesting. I mean, the Dolphins and Patriots have just made the season debuts, but at the end of the day, the Colts and Bills, those are the two teams that were climbing to the top. I'm really disappointed that the 49ers couldn't beat them in that week 2. I was like, all right, we could be first by ourselves in the division, but with these two, I have a feeling that we're going to be, competing with them all year, just like the last time. The only two teams with a win. The rest of the division is winless. But then again, Dolphins and Patriots didn't play in week 1 due to the hurricane. Bengals and Steelers are both 2-0, and boy, the Oilers 0-2. They're having a hard time getting that offense going. We'll have to see if things change for them. Nobody in the AFC West is going to go undefeated this year because everybody's 1-1 except for the Chargers. And then you got the Eagles and Cowboys. They were the class of the NFC East in '92, and although the Redskins were pretty good at the time too, they were coming off that Super Bowl year, but they were still a playoff team. Everybody else is 0-2 here. Vikings looking to successfully defend their NFC Central crown. They had a surprisingly good season that saw them reach the NFC Championship last year. They beat San Francisco in the playoffs. That was a huge surprise. They're looking to, to repeat that and improve upon themselves this year. And then you got the Falcons at 2-0. That's a surprise right there. But nobody in the NFC West is winless either. So this could be a tough division. I know the Saints were a really good team. They were a better team in '92 than they were in '90. So they know the 49ers, they're not going to be necessarily automatic like they are in Tecmo normally. And meanwhile, the Giants were usually the top dog of the NFC East more often than not in Tecmo. You've got the Cowboys, who actually did win the division in my first season. They're going to be the favorites here because they're this is where the dynasty really began. But that's the standings. Next week, without Buffalo, so huge week 3 game. Yeah, that's wow. So already we're huge game to start off with. That week 16 game last year where we really had a chance to win slipped through the fingertips, sticks in my craw a little bit. So we'll try to give them our best next week, and maybe we can use that momentum to build our way towards the rest of the way. But it's very early in the season. Don't really want to talk about, I mean, I look at the standings for fun and see how things are going, but you can't really, use it as a, like a talking point regarding, it's not something that's important at the moment. That's for sure. But division wins are very important. So next week versus Buffalo is going to be vital, vital game early in the season. So until then, I'll see you around.